Got my trusty roller to roll out those obnoxious knots in my quads. If this was Thursday, I would say throwback to the days when I wasn't sore. Jeez, they suck. But I was thinking, champion mindset coaching, because what else would I be thinking about while I'm rolling out my quads before I go to sleep at night? And let's talk about this. Let's talk about new habits. This would be a nifty tool for you to have, and knowledge as to how this brain, time to eat too. All right, so let's talk new habits here. So here's what you need to know, and apply this to any area. Like a lot of times, I think people kind of like pigeonhole, my function is it's only health and fitness and I'm only focused on nutrition habits or exercise habits or whatever. I use those examples on purpose because they're so tangible and commonplace that I believe most people can relate to it. But your job is to take that example and apply it to your life. Every single teaching and coaching that I do has application to goals that you have in other areas of your life. But usually people find a problem when they're moving towards a goal that there's something that they either have a habit, which they just can't seem to out-train, or they keep defaulting back to that habit when stress comes along. And they never really make any traction forward. And that can be so incredibly frustrating. So I get it. It applies with athletic performance as it does in everyday life. So you choose how you want to apply it, but this is what you need to know. All habits are learned. All of them. Okay? Therefore, they can be unlearned and replaced with a habit that serves you better. Okay, so then how do we go about doing this? Oh my gosh, well, I just have to decide and I have to practice and I have to discipline. Yes. All right, but part of this, you have the one aspect of habit formation, which is that mental programming. So there's kind of like two ways to change things. One is through repetition. So you just do it over and over and over and over and over again and over and over and over and over again until you no longer have to think about it ever. It just becomes part of your habit. So let's say you come home from work, and again, this is health and fitness example, but apply the concept to any area of your life. Let's say you come home from work, your habit is to put your keys on the table and then proceed to the refrigerator, crack open a bottle of something, sit on the couch, turn on Netflix or whatever, and then before you know it, you're like face down in a bowl of goldfish crackers, and you didn't work out, you didn't eat a healthy meal that you kind of thought that you wanted to really eat, you didn't drink any water, it's too late to go to the gym, you got to go to work in the morning, actually you didn't start the report that's due in the morning, and you're behind, but this is like part of your routine, and this happens day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, and then all of a sudden you're sitting there probably pretty overweight and feeling pretty bad about your situation, like coulda, shoulda, woulda, but now I'm so far gone that the thought of what it would take to actually change is completely overwhelming. Number one, I've been doing this every single day, but number two, I haven't been moving my body, so I have two factors working against me. Number one, I have habits that don't serve me, and number two, my body, because I've not been treating it well nutritionally or movement wise, it's that saying like if you rest, you rust. Now your body hurts when you move it. Okay, and there's a lot of causes for that. Like literally, if you don't move around, your body adapts and excels at whatever movement you give it. So if you are really sitting down all the time or slouching down and leaning over or whatever, that's what your body will become super awesome at. I say this as I'm telling you like, oh my God, I'm so sore from working out. I think you have to pick your poison. Like, what would you rather be? Sore from working out or achy and creaky and immobile from not? Right? So this, you play this out in your life. But what I'm saying then is for you to make that switch. And when you're moving things in the health form, it tends to be way more complex because health is about, physical movement, and it's also about nutrition. And so you're running like two separate programs into one goal, and it can be completely overwhelming and painful sometimes, and like just like I can't even do it. So here's what I'm gonna propose for your consideration. The other way that you can have a switch to move into a new habit formation is actually by having like a very intense emotional experience that causes that switch. Okay, now this can be known as a paradigm switch, this can be known as a breakthrough, but whatever it is, this thing that you witness, that you learn, that you see, whatever, has such an intense emotional impact on you that you automatically change your behavior and you never default back to the other way. Okay, so we can do this, it doesn't have to be scary or whatever. We do this a simple exercise. It'll just take a couple minutes here at max, and that's to change how you're viewing perhaps your body. Okay, so this will be totally fun. All right, so pay attention. All right, now picture if you had not a mini me, because mini me would be like your kid, but maybe like a micro me. Like if you were the size of like your pinky nail. Okay, like, oh, like so cute. Okay, so you're like that tiny. Just because I said so. You don't need a reason. That's why. This is exercise. Just pay attention. Okay. All right, we're good. Thanks. Okay. All right. Now, imagine that your micro me is inside of like a little maybe space capsule. It's like clear though. It can totally see. And your little micro me is going to lift up the toenail of your big toe just because I'm sure it is gross down there. That's not my fault that you don't take care of your toes. Okay? Discussion for a different day. But cut them straight, okay? And then file them so that you don't get ingrowns, all right? Extra bonus tip for, Tuesday training tip. Gotcha again. Isn't this fun? I'm sassy at night. All right. Now imagine that your little micro me is inside that little clear spaceship and he's traveling or she's traveling up through like your blood vessels. So coming up your leg, and taking a look around, and you see like the blood cells floating, and you see like your calf muscles and all this stuff, and comes all the way up, and then all of a sudden enters your abdominal area. And your little micro me can see everything. It can see your stomach, can see your liver, can see, your lymph floating around, can see your abdominal fat if you have any, can see your muscles. Now imagine your little micro me is actually floating up, like taking a look around, like what does your liver look like? You're laughing right now, okay? This is part of the exercise. All right, does it look good in there or does it look kind of scary in there? Not me. I'm not there with you. Be honest with yourself. All right, it's floating up, kind of seeing your gut, seeing your large and small intestine. What does it look like in there? What does it look like in your stomach? What does it look like by your pancreas? Coming all the way up, can actually see your lungs. How do your lungs look? How does your heart look? Are the blood vessels in your heart nice and clear? Are they clogged with a lot of junk? Like what's going on? Coming all the way up, through the blood vessel in your neck, up into your head. What does your brain look like? Yours, not the person sitting next to you, yours, okay? Not your husband's, not your wife's, but yours, okay? We're not talking size, we're talking about health of it, all right? And do this imagery, like imagine you're honestly in there and you can see all the things which are inside of your body. How does it look? Are your muscles looking, vibrant and strong? Or are your muscles looking like if you go to buy old meat at the store, it's on the very bottom and it's kind of like gray and it's smushed from all the other packages which were sitting on top of it? Is that what your muscles look like? I mean, let's be honest here. So when you want to make a change, look at yourself and just imagine, micro me is traveling around there. Micro me comes out. And now here we are at the decision table for you to make some sort of a decision based on what you saw when you took that little quick trip through your body. How were things looking? Okay? Here's your challenge, can you honestly tonight, before you go to bed or whenever you're watching this, look yourself in the eye in the mirror and say with 100% clear conscience, gotcha, ooh, that I'm really happy with what it looks like in there. And I should continue doing what I'm doing. Just coming home from work, cracking open, say that 10 times fast, that's hard. cracking open a brewski or a half a bottle or a whole bottle of wine, taking down on the couch and just, chilling out because I deserved it because I had a hard day. Times 7 days a week, times 4 weeks a month, times 12 months a year, times 10 years. I know. So there you go. That's your paradigm switch. That is somewhat, I hope, of an intense emotional experience for you to be able to self-triage. That's what it's all about. Like, where are you in all of your goal? It's what we talk about with my coaching clients. Everyone comes to the distinction, like, you have to self-triage. You have to look at yourself and decide, where am I? Am I moving closer to my goals? Am I moving farther away from my goals? And whatever it is that you want to have or achieve, if it's health and fitness, if this is financial, if this is vacations you want to take, if this is you want to start a company or whatever it is, it's making every decision as though you are that person already. Which sounds kind of crazy because it almost seems like you don't become the person until you have the thing or have achieved the thing, but it's actually backwards. Your transformation, your change, your developing a different habit to get you closer to your goal starts with the person you have to become in order to do the right things to move you towards that goal. Sometimes that means switching out an old habit and replacing it with a new. Other times that's going to mean acquisition of different forms of knowledge or networking with different people and acquiring different resources to get you closer to that as well before you will have that end result. So it's really who you must be followed by what you must do before you can have what you want. It's be, do, have. Ooh, this is getting so good, right? Okay, have a good night. We'll talk to you later.